And you take the pudding and you put it in the ice cubes and you feed it to the girl, and then you slip her the roofies. Ah!
And we're live.
Oh, sweet.
So, what you up to?
Oh,
You forgot to mute your feed.
yeah, that was me. That was totally a rookie error. Oh, well. You get the quality you put into it. So, it's been a week since I've seen you last, Mr. Dave Vapes. Cousin Dave. Did you get anything new?
Nope. Same old, same old. I did get some flavorings to make. I did get some of those flavorings to make that limited edition liquid for Mosh. But that's about it.
Oh, the Satan's Piss.
Yes.
That is a very good flavoring. I got some of this Chuck Clouds. Where's my camera? There it is. I got some Chuck Clouds. I got a few bottles of that. They were nice enough over there at Cafe Inner Vapes to send me a few bottles, and they also gave me my very own coupon code. The link will save you 10% off site-wide at Cafe Inner Vape.
That's good.
You can also use Juice20, and that'll get you 20% off all e-liquids on cafeinnervape.com.
While it lasts.
Yeah, and I actually heard today that that coupon code will be ending the 13th.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's so you gotta hurry up and get out there and get it.
They're good people over there at Cafe Innovate. Really good people.
Yeah, they have their 24-hour customer services. That's a pretty unique thing to be able to call them up anytime and get a live person and actually speak to somebody. And 2 o'clock in the morning, your mod breaks. There's somebody to yell at. I appreciate that.
I did start by testing some flavors out, see how they are by themselves. Though that's the only thing new this week for me.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Trying this chocolate glazed donut from Capella.
A chocolate glazed donut?
Yeah, from Capella.
Really?
Yeah.
That's very interesting. I guess I'm interested in that flavor. I personally have never had a donut vape. I'm sure that'll change shortly, but I mean,
yeah,
it's just when I'm spending my hard-earned dollar, it was never something I thought I'd be interested in.
Oh, I have yet to find a donut vape I like.
I got some of this. Have you gotten some of this yet?
Nope.
We're gonna have to change that. We're gonna have to get you a pack of this. This new Angle Rabbit stuff is changing the world, one cotton swab at a time. It's pretty good stuff.
Pretty good
You're gonna
stuff.
like it. Yeah, it's pretty good stuff.
Would it make people change from the $7 bag of organic cotton balls?
I personally did a burn test here the other day, and I compared Muji cotton balls or Muji pads, the $7 organic bag of cotton balls, and I used the cotton bacon bits. And I have to say that in the wet coil burning comparison, the Angle Rabbit is definitely unique. It doesn't leach the flavor of a dry hit. So if you do get a dry hit, it's maybe a puff or two, and you're back to full flavor, which is absolutely unheard of. there's many burn tests out on there, but that's not as important to me. I've never set my cotton on fire accidentally, even on like a triple series build or something like that, you know. But it doesn't scorch or burn.
I've inhaled flame a couple times.
I've done it, but I don't think
Not
I've
on
ever
purpose.
done it on accident.
See, that's my only thing is they're like, oh, you can wick it up, you can juice it, you can fire it until it sets on fire.
Who does that?
Who does that?
Right, and that was my initial reaction to it as well. However, the cotton seems to be. It doesn't seem to go. The burn resistance seems to have to do more with the absorbency of the cotton and how fast it can wick, rather than the actual burn retardation of the cotton. Because if you were to take a little piece of each of the cottons and start them on fire, they all go up like cotton.
Yeah.
So I think it's got more to do with the capillary action of the cotton. The cotton is very light and fluffy. But, you know, we just spent 9 minutes talking about cotton, and this is my 5th show this week. So let's move on from cotton, please. I never thought I'd commit this much of my time to talking about cotton.
Cotton.
It's important, but, you know, it's like, how important is it really?
In the grand scheme of things, not very. I still have good friends of mine that will only use rayon.
And I'm not one to judge. I just I'd like the best experience I can get, and currently that's what I found making my vape substantial.
Gone into any vape shops this week?
I actually haven't. I've been pretty busy on the homestead. Got a lot of cleaning up my yard. The yard out here is 12 acres, and there's I don't know, scrap and old building foundations and stuff that have been torn down, and separating all the stuff from burning while it's been wet here into the sheet metal and other various scrappables, and kind of making piles and getting it out of here as we can. I think I'm looking to maybe get this place up on the market here. So been definitely contemplating doing some cleanup and, you know, increasing that whole property value kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's we ain't planning on selling my house, but that's noble. So you remember how earlier I was saying it was you heard this doing that rattling noise?
Yeah.
I found out what it was. I just had the atomizer not tightened down.
Oh, and then it'll make a noise?
Yeah. See?
Oh. Oh. I didn't hear it there. Ah, that was the noise. There you have it. The amazing vibrating rig pig. No, not rig pig.
Rig box.
Rig box. Rig box.
Rig pig.
Yes, I know where I went wrong there. Oh, I was actually incorrect. I got this sent to me for a friend.
Nice.
And yeah, I'm thinking she's going to absolutely love this. I think we're gonna shoot a video me and her setting it up and showing her how to use it. And we're going to film a few of her test vapes, and then I'm going to have her come check back with me in a few weeks and see how her vape journey is going. All of a sudden, we have thunder and lightning outside, and my dog is fucking crazy. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, this is Jade. Jade, welcome to the show. Is there anything you'd like to say?
She did not say that. That would be impressive if she did say that.
Yeah, she can't talk. I think it has something to do with her lungs. Oh, yes. Yeah, some dogs are afraid of lightning. She's definitely one of them.
Most dogs that are afraid of lightning, they tend to go to a dark area, like where they think they're safe is. So it's impressive that she finds you the safe
right here. She's shivering and stuff. It's horrible. This is going to make my coil building seminar a little difficult.
Yeah, it's going to be a little difficult to build things with 50-pound dog on your lap.
Yeah, I would say right about there. Yeah, and it's not just a dog; it's a shivering dog, so it makes it even more exciting.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I guess that's kind of not going to happen now, being you got a dog on your lap.
Actually, I think I think she's going to lay down. Vaping with Nikki B out in the chat. How are you doing, Nikki B? It's good to see you out there.
Hey, Nikki.
We should perhaps send out an invite and get some esteemed guests on the show. I was thinking maybe we'd invite KBN Productions.
Gonna ambush him again?
Yes, let's really ambush him. Let's just make the show about him. And he has a lot of new stuff to show, too. Can you say hi to Nikki B? Can you say hi to Nikki B? Oh, yes, you can. You can't script this, folks.
No, you cannot script it. Oh, dead air when I was trying to fight somebody.
I'm sorry, I'm a little distracted.
We're not trying to we're not trying to be all super pro.
There we go.
We're just a couple of good guys hanging out, bullshitting, shooting the shit with each other, right?
Yeah, it's I'm only going to take myself as serious as you are, Dave.
I don't take myself serious at all, so we're in trouble.
And now that I don't have a dog on my lap, let's see if I can get this camera to work.
Well, if you want to come on, Nikki, come on. If not, don't worry about it.
I'm going to guess this one. There we go. So, hopefully that's showing up there pretty good.
Yeah, pretty tight,
okay.
Pretty close.
All right. Well, what I've got today is I have the basic DIY expert coiling kit from Coil Master. I have a simple pair of end cutters. I have a red screwdriver, and this is really just a better quality screwdriver than the small blue screwdriver that most atomizers come with these days. Well, used to come with, I guess. That's now a lot of them use Allen keys. I have a pair of these ceramic tweezers. You know, these are handy because you can actually touch the coils while firing, but the metal ones do work. You have to be careful not to use them while you're firing your device. For today's build, have some Lightning Vapes 22 gauge stainless steel wire because I am going for a temp control build on a Goon. I'm going to move this out of the way just so I have that open space to work with. And I am going to grab my trusty, dusty... Oh, hi, Nikki.
Nikki! I know I ambushed you.
Yes, you did.
I have my trusty, dusty Goon sitting on top of my Cool Fire TC, and it currently has a build in it. So I'm going to have Dave and Nikki talk while I figure out how to get it out of there quick.
Screwdriver usually helps.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I do happen to have one of them.
So how has your week been, Nikki?
Very tiring.
Very tired.
We've been packing and getting ready to move, and it's just been...
You're
chaos.
moving too.
Oh, yeah. We're moving into a split level. So. A little bit closer to a little bit more like apartment complexes and stuff like that, to where my daughter can move out and have her own life. So.
That'd be good.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever tried that frosted donut from chocolate glazed donut from Capella?
Nope. Is it good?
I whipped it up the other day, letting it steep.
I've had the frosted donut from what is it? The Flavor Apprentice and stuff like that. I didn't like it that well.
Hey, Raven.
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 It actually tastes like
Hey,
like
Raven,
the frosting from a
fuck
donut.
yourself.
It's a donut with the chocolate frosting.
Yeah, it tastes like the frost. You get a little bit of the donut, but not too much. It's not unpleasant.
There we go. That's what I like to see out in chat.
Oh, there's
All right, everybody.
Demon Babes.
Raven, long time no see, buddy.
Yeah, right. So coming back in focus in frame here, I just cut two strips of that 22 gauge, probably about 8 inches long. I am going to go in my Coil Master DIY Expert Kit, and I am going to grab both the Coil Master tool and this end rod. Yes, I said end rod. You know, it's a total failure, but moving on. So I just take this and...
You still are making the kits like that?
What's that?
I've never seen a Coil Master kit like that.
Oh, sure. And you just put the end in there like so. And I'm just going to get her started a little bit. We're going to aim for 10 wraps. And please remember I'm doing this on camera, so it might be a slight bit more difficult than normal. But we're going to give it the old college try. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then they have to line up. Then I'm just going to push it down to get a nice even coil. And we'll fix that up in post. a little bit. And then I just, I open it up and I push the rod out. And then the whole wad of coil comes out super simple. And then I'll just set this back up how I just had it, like I did the first one. And I'll throw this, the end of the coil through the top, like so. Get her started just a little bit. And again, we're going to do 10 wraps. Oh. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then we need it to face the same direction as the other coil, like so. And then I'll do this once more, pull that out, and then it'll easily come right out. And before I go and tidy them all up, we have 2 coils that look a little something like, and my focus is very, very horrible. I think I'm going the wrong way. Looks a little bit something like that, just some random wiry looking bits. But if you give me just a second, I'll hold them up and we'll get them cleaned up for you guys. So for this part, you can either use your bare hands or you can use a small pair of pliers. I'm opting just to use my hands. I'm using that very same coil rod that I twisted them up on. And I'm just going to throw them over the rod and hold them at the end like so. And just pull them straight and get everything facing the right direction. And you'll end up with something like so. I'm going to fix this other one up here real quick. And for this one, since it had that little goofy end, I'm just going to give it a little snip right there anyway. And your end result is something like so. Now, I'm going to make sure that my mod is off. And I am going to string up this goon real quick. Now, I just go on the goon, I just go straight through the middle like that on one side. And then I get it roughly in position and I bend my leads up. Then I push the coil on the back side down slightly and get the other coil in position. And then I push those up. Then I take the trusty, dusty, red-handled screwdriver. I know it's not your normal green one, but it works just the same. And I just go across and I tighten the whole land mass. At this point, the only thing I'm super concerned about is that the coils are the same space left or across from each other from the center of the deck. Once I've gotten that far, I simply use this screwdriver, pull my coils out, and kapow! That is a coiled RDA. I'm just going to do a little cleanup here in my lap, and then we'll go back and I'll wick it up quick for you. Am I boring the ever-living piss out of you guys yet?
You discovered anything new lately? New this week, Nikki?
Yes, I have the rabbit.
The
dead
rabbit.
rabbit. The dead rabbit.
The dead rabbit.
Yes.
How's that?
It's good. Really, really good. Tons of cotton you can pack in here. Does not leak if you overfill the juice well. You can actually just like stream it in. It's awesome. Now, if you gotta realize if you ordered the red cap, the drip tip one, it's gonna come out a little pinkish because it matches the mug. Yeah, it's perfect for me. But when you got to realize China red it's either red or it's pink.
Oh, that's good. And my vape shop did get my my Hexone back from Craven Vapor. It's
Awesome.
fixed. So Monday I'll get that. Well, tomorrow I'll get that. That's awesome. Go ahead, mute. I know you want to talk to him. You doing good out there, Raven? Or are you asleep finally? So, so it was going to be a beginner's build, but a beginner's live show.
Is it no longer a beginner's live show?
You want to come on, Raven?
So we're at this point of the build, and I'll just carry on. If you guys want me to give a play-by-play, I can, or I'll just join the conversation with you. At this point, this part of the build is pretty mindless for me.
Hope everything's okay, Nikki.
Oh yeah, everything's fine. It's just kids and husbands. I'm usually the middleman in between them going, one's coming down going, what's for dinner? And the other one's going, I don't know, it's not for 3 hours. Oh, he just wants to know what's for dinner. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It is. That's the things that we argue about.
You ever heard of this Very Soft?
No. What is that?
It's an ice cream sandwich with Captain Crunch on it. Or Crunch Berries.
Does it actually taste like what it says?
Are we in a Google Hangout room? Holy fuck.
Google fuck yourself.
I channel. All right, I got to remember my camera. There we are.
Oh God, that's worse.
So is
Oh
this
my gosh.
would you say that this is a show for beginners in vaping or beginners in watching live shows?
Well, I hope it's not beginners in watching live shows, but beginners in vaping and beginning and doing live shows because we're fucking up everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I have on my Heretic. I have 22 gauge 3 wraps.
Shame on you, Raven.
What, 22 gauge Cantho?
Yeah.
That probably came out about the same as this 10 wrap stainless steel here.
Probably. I have on my series box. I have a 0.13.
Is that a PWM box?
Nope. Not GFY box.
Holy crap.
This box here.
Does that have a potentiometer on it? Oh, yeah, sure.
Thanks.
Yeah, Raven's quite accustomed to swallowing flames.
Oh, I fucking dry hit many a times.
I think he just likes the abuse.
And I just put this on a dark horse that I made for competition. Second, if you see, you can see the coil in there. Oh,
Oh, yeah, that's a good setup. I used to rock that same setup.
A lot of airflow.
Atomizer short. How could that be?
Mm-hmm.
And for the fruits of my labor, I have the Goon here running, and yeah, the build came out to about a 0.17. I got it about 90 watts.
Baba.
I'm one of those do as I say, not as I do things.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of us tend to be the do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah, I tend to stress my fucking batteries out all the time. All right, fuck it.
My batteries are either dying or I'm about to get a dry hit.
Well,
Which one do you want?
I'm not going to go and blame it on my device because I vented my batteries when it was not full.
I was about to get a dry hit.
So did anybody see me on Precious show?
This morning?
No,
Yesterday or the one you were on?
Friday.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, sure.
That was at
Shut
work.
up. I wanted to ask those hard questions to Heathen. I think he was waiting. He was like, every time I asked the question, he was moving. I love busting his balls. So we have the icon that came out, right? We have the Dead Rabbit that came out, which too coincidentally, and Gora Rabbit Cotton came out around the same time. And I asked Bill if he's involved in that. He says no. I don't know about that. You can't trust a firefighter that shaves off his mustache. You can't do that. So, anyways, we'll go with that. So now what we got? What? Daniel's coming out, right?
Aurora.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Aurora. And we got yeah, and we got Brian's coming out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that it?
Well, unless you're going to come out with one. But
No. I promise I will not come out with an RDA or a rap song.
So you'll come out
come
with a
on.
tank and a metal song.
No, he's gonna come out with a country song.
He's wearing a Slipknot shirt. I hope he'd do better.
I think his shirt disagrees with the country song.
No, because see, you have to do the total opposite of what you want to do.
Total opposite.
Yep.
Fuck.
Don't do what I say, do what I do. Or what you guys just sit there and say.
So he's going to call it an RDA, but it's going to be a tank.
Yep. Or it'll be a tank RDA.
So what's the build deck on that that Dead Rabbit?
So what he calls a post list, but it kind of have posts. It's a raised deck. Postless deck is what I
Postless deck.
yes. Basically the posts go the opposite direction. Kind of like take a velocity and bend it.
Flip it.
Bend it, yeah.
But isn't that a top posted deck?
Well, it's just a unique deck. It's not postless. It doesn't have a deck. I mean, how you want to sit there and explain that?
We're looking to you. We're looking to you, Nikki B.
Okay.
How would you like
I call it a postless because I'm used to building in postless decks. So it's not really a deck, but it's got like a well. The well is there. So basically it's kind of like a hybrid. So you got postless with the juice well at the bottom, but it's not a tank.
I think we should. I think we should call it a hybrid deck.
I
Hybrid.
don't like that. I think we should call it a lichen deck.
Well, what, the dead rabbit? Are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dead rabbit. I kind of like the concept, but it's got the juice well is too shallow.
No, it's not. See, that's
It
where
is.
everybody's. It looks shallow, but it does have a well. But you can sit there and fill that up to the complete deck. It's not leaking. So and you can shove cotton in there. You can sit there and have this whole bottom area filled with juice. It's not going to leak. And that's where I think everybody's afraid. It's too shallow, but you can put tons of juice in this. But just do not raise this up if there's tons of juice in there, because it's going to leak just like you opened a tank.
Did it come with a squonk pin?
Yes, it did.
Yeah, yes. It comes with a squonk pin.
The flaw is that they put the screws in that actually are the flat screw, like a flat screwdriver, flathead in it, but there's no flathead screwdriver in the package. That is the flaw, because you cannot, if you didn't bring your vape gear with you to build, like screwdrivers and stuff like that, and you're wanting to just build instantly on it, you can't. There's no screwdriver in his box. It's only the 2 Allen keys in the box, which the grub screws for the Allen key are in the package, not on the deck. I mean, that's a little flaw, but come on, the little blue screwdriver's in every box usually.
I'll have to wait until I get it. I already told them.
That's like we saved 57 cents to give you a second set of scrub screws, though, or something. I don't know.
But you have to think about this. Say that a newbie, because you want to sit there and say a newbie bought it, and they don't have a full set of screwdrivers and stuff, and they're little. Me, I didn't. And I went to go look for screwdrivers. All my husband's screwdrivers were the bigger ones and stuff, not the little tiny ones that can go into this. So you could actually hinder somebody for a couple of days of trying it out until they go back to the store and get one. I'm just saying, if you're going, I think it should have been reversed. I think the grub screws should have been in it, and then the screw should have been the second. That way it could have been used right away.
Well, yeah, that said, but a newbie shouldn't be using something like that anyways. You know what I mean? They should be starting out with something like an easy.
Okay, if they wanted their first deck to be this,
then they're bumming. You know what I mean? But I don't think. I think once you know what you're doing, like what you're doing. So
I know what I'm doing.
So it's easy.
But I'm just seeing it in the simpler side of somebody buying it that don't have the equipment, because I've taught people that they got a velocity deck or a support, and they only had one thing to build on, which was the little blue screwdriver. They didn't have any other tools. They didn't have no wire cutters. They didn't have anything.
But at the same time, I don't really see that as a con, because a flaw.
It's not a con. It's just I
don't see it
thing
as,
to think about.
I don't see it as anything, because, all right, if they go and they buy it from a vape shop, the majority of the vape shops are going to have build tools there. Even if they can't use them, they still have them there, because they bought hundreds of dollars worth of this shit before August 8th. If not, what are the chances of going from your vape shop to your house that you do not pass up a gas station, a Dollar Tree, dollar store, Walmart, Winn-Dixie?
It's true. It's true, but I'm just saying, as a perspective of what I had, just opening the box and I wanted to build on it, there was that step to where I had to go searching for that specific screwdriver in order to build on it.
But she's saying, yeah, I know what you're saying. She's saying like the new person is going to go on, wow, I saw that on YouTube. I want to get that everybody's talking about, and gets it, brings it home and goes, oh, I don't have a screwdriver. You know what I mean? Like it should have came with the screwdriver. I know what you're saying.
It should at least, or at least have the grub screws in the device. That way it can have been used instantly.
Well, I
Yeah.
think I
without
have
having to go look for
this-
it.
I have the solution to this problem. I've been seeing on the Instagram that Coil Master is actually coming out with their own RDTA, and I believe that it comes with a build kit in a nice little. It's in a little foldy, zippy pouch thing that comes with the RDA. Holy dogs everywhere!
Okay, but what about like something like this?
Yeah.
Okay, why not include something like this with the flat head instead of the point, and then have both Allen keys sizes in the thing? It would have been all in one set for that. That way you don't lose your Allen keys, and you know that's for that device.
I never use those little.
I like these. These actually give you a little bit more, grip and stuff with the little tiny. I don't know. I just like these.
Like RDA's tank. It's just like liquid. It's so subjective. Okay, no matter what people are going to say, some people like more things. All right, now I have the Icon. I like the Icon, but I like the Troll a lot better than the Icon. You know, people go, yeah, well, I do. I like the airflow better. I just like it better. You know, so no matter what, no matter what, there's going to be pros and cons in anything. But if you have hardware that's in your RDA, include the tools to use the hardware, that's kind of a con, not for the operation of the RDA, but for the parts that come with it.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, it's all subjective because
On a postless deck, though, you're going to require wire cutters because you have to trim the bottom of your legs off, correct? It's not like you could do it with your fingers.
You can have toenail clippers around in your house.
Oh, sure.
I don't know. I just see it as somebody who's getting their first RDA,
Mm-hmm.
first getting into building.
All right, you'll have to excuse me for just a minute, guys. I will return.
They're going to be buying, they're going to buy that. Then they're going to buy wire. And odds are they're going to buy a build kit. Whether it's the Geek Vape one, the Coil Master one, one of the cheapo ones, which is going to have, the wire cutters, the tweezers, and the screwdrivers. I mean, granted, when I first started doing it, I just went and bought little Stanley screwdrivers, and that's all I use. I don't use, unless it's got the Allen key, I don't use the tools that come with it because they're generally crap.
Yeah. Well, I was the same way, so I just went to, I just fucking had it. I was going to show it to you. I just fucking had it. Oh, yeah, that's stupid. I bought myself one of these. It's got everything, all the Allen keys, all the things, and even if you strip your Allen keys, it's got the easy outs, a little easy out. So it's got everything in one. That's all you need, and a pair of snips.
I have this where it has all the bits and stuff in the lid.
Yeah. It's just,
There it is again. See, there it is again. Everybody's even tools to build an RDA is subjective. It's what you want to use. Some people use just a bit to spin their coils. I have a jig that I use, to spin mine.
Right.
Some people use a screw because they want that space, that even space. So they'll use the screw to wrap their coils around, so they get that even space.
Yeah. And if you want it spaced too, if you have the coil jig, you can sit there and just pull it out, then push it back, and they're evenly spaced.
Yeah, I mean, I have the Coil Master.
I have the kit. I have the kit as well.
But I still use my screwdrivers.
It's what I learned how to build on with my screwdrivers. So
I still like to use Allen keys. That's just what I started on, so it just seems to
You
be the
started
best.
building
I
on
have
Allen?
I have metric Allen wrenches, and it comes in 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5. It just has all the right sizes, so I would just always use that, man. Call me old school.
You know, like I don't like Allen grub screws. Don't like them.
Neither.
Give me big chunky flatheads.
I like grub screws. I rather have a grub screw than a flathead or
Phillips.
Phillips. Yeah, like or a Phillips. It's all different. It's all in what somebody wants. That's why they make 100 different RDAs, 100 different kind of tools for the RDAs, 100 different kinds of juices. It's all on different people.
Hey, Michaela.
Miguel.
But yeah, I mean, it's just too many.
I guess it's just because I've had experience with teaching a lot of women that don't have toolboxes. You know what I'm saying? Because, oh, that's in their husbands. They don't know where they put everything, or their husband doesn't allow them to touch anything. I could say, go look in your sewing machine box and find those the things, I'm just saying that as a woman, okay, you guys have tools all the time. Women usually, I hate to sit there and say this as a stereotypical thing, it usually depends on the man to fix things sometimes. Or my husband used to go in and steal all my tools after I bought the tools. Like he steals my drill all the time. And I'm like, where's the drill? Or the drill's like too low or something. I can't do twisted. I'm like, really? You can't charge the battery?
See, we come from a time, and Nikki's known me long enough to know that I always say that you got to go to school, that you got to learn how to crawl before you learn how to run. You got to go to get me up before you go to college. People don't want to do that, and what's making it hard is that pre-made coils. I'm not saying that it's the wrong idea. I like pre-made coils. Sometimes I'm lazy and I don't want to spin a coil myself, so I'll just grab a pre-made coil, throw it in. But for the new people, they're like, I'll just get a pre-made coil. Well, they don't know, and still don't.
They don't know how to make a basic pitch.
That's right. Or they don't. Still not thinking of Ohm's law. You know what I mean? Well, if I put a 0.15 and I put dual 2.15s in it, that comes out to a 0.3. No, stupid. That's not how it works. But they don't think of it like that.
It's
but
subtraction.
Yeah, they.
It's not addition. It's not addition in vaping. It's subtraction.
Yeah, I know, and that's what it is. And I've even seen people make mistakes of, well, the higher the number versus the lower is the difference in thickness and wire, and they even get that wrong. And I'm like, no, it's the opposite. What you're thinking? See, you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're doing.
Oh yeah.
All I want to do is just blow clouds. I tell people, like, yeah, I blow clouds. The reason why I blow clouds is because it's the nature of the beast. I like a hot vape. What comes with a hot vape is a lot of vapor and a lot of clouds. It's not that I just go out and say, all right, I'm going to chuck clouds. Yeah, I do have stuff that it's just made for that, but I don't, this is not for that. It's made for the way that I like to vape.
Yeah.
Don't have the chuck.
Oh yeah, I mean, when I started vaping, I immediately went to building my own coils because I'm a cheap ass. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Luckily, I was building on the Kangertech RBA for the sub-tank mini. So it wasn't like I could put stupid low builds in it anyway. So
I know of a person that just started. Let me tell you something about learning and try to jump ahead. Just started. Nikki will know the person. Came into one of our chat rooms and said, "How do I get the full pack of kind in this coil?" Really. See, you laugh, but there are people like that.
Okay, this is the people I've had to teach, Raven. Or she unscrewed the velocity at the top and goes, how am I going to get the coil down there?
Yeah. Or
and didn't realize that you have to pop it off, you know.
Or how do I get the it's a factory coil or the factory coils or sub-ohm coils. How do I get the coil out of here? Go back to smoking. What the fuck? Comes with directions.
Not the best response, but okay.
Well. If you okay, look. In this society of vaping, okay, there are numerous YouTube fucking reviewers that review the same fucking product. Put the product on YouTube. Hundreds of you fucking reviewers will come in any fucking language. Okay, not to mention, this is a real stretch of the imagination, the fucking instructions that come with the goddamn thing. Okay, no. You rather play stupid and go, well, how do I open up this? Well, I don't know. I'm not.
Oh, no, she's like, and the comment was, oh, I wish these things came with instructions. Okay, some of them do, but the one that she got was a clone, and of course it don't.
But even the often they don't come with an instruction manual.
Well, sometimes certain ones will show you if it's more complicated. I've seen like little diagrams where it shows, but that's not full instructions. It's just a picture of, hey, but if you aren't willing to do the research, don't do it. Don't, you know, or yes, asking questions is great, but if you can't sit there and go watch a few YouTube channels of saying, hey, let me Google that, or even, hello, you're going to find tons of videos on anything and everything on YouTube. YouTube is a information highway of instructional videos.
Yeah. It tells you anything you want to know, so that there's no excuse. So what somebody should do, and what I would do, I would just keep my fucking mouth shut, learn from the YouTube videos, practice, and not even tell anybody that this is my first time, and just keep going. Matter of fact, that's exactly what the fuck I did. You know, I didn't, you know, fuck. If I have a question now, I'll fucking ask, but I'll look it up first.
And Michaela mentions in the chat too that I helped her with her first coil and stuff like that. And look at her now. She builds. It just takes a little hit, you know? And I hate to sit there and say this too, is yes, I'm not putting this on you, Michaela. There's the older crowd that don't know YouTube. You have to direct them sometimes. You know, it takes a little bit of effort on our part to sit there and send them a link, send them to Rip Trippers on how to make a basic coil, you know, or make your own tutorial and show them how to do it. You know, some people learn visually, some people don't. It's just one of those things. Get you some wire and practice. That's all I have to say.
I think you're absolutely right, Raven. These pre-made coils, not only do they take away, but people will throw them in and not even strum their coils and then complain that, oh, I bought these $15 coils and they suck worse than the stock ones that came with it.
Yeah, and there's a lot of times people get coils like they don't really realize that stainless steel should be separated. It shouldn't be together like Kenthol, like all crunched up and shit. It should be separated. And people don't do that. Like you were just saying, they get them, they pop them out of the little tiny thing that they come in, a little tiny thing, pop them out, throw them in, and go, oh, what happened? Well, because you don't know what you're fucking doing. If you knew what you were fucking doing, you would have said what happened. You would have went, wow, this is great. This is holding juice soup, but this is doing what, you know, this is vaping great. Now, what happened? It's worse. You know, because you don't know the density between the Kenthol and the steel and nickel and you know, and the ramping up time and all this shit. They don't know all that because they're new. They don't take the time to learn.
And also, I think sorry, Raven. I was just going to say.
Yeah, wait.
I was going to say one thing though is us as YouTubers also have to think too when we're doing a build tutorial is to show them still how to build. We've lost that pathway of sitting there just slapping in a coil. You know what I'm saying? What if somebody is new and they just happen to find, you know, they're researching a device and they're like, well, I don't know how to build. you could be the teacher. Why sit there and send them off to rip? Why sit there and send them off to another person that has a coil? You know what I'm saying? Yes, we're supportive of each other, but you know what? Why can't we be the next builder?
I believe that if you aren't going to learn how to build coils here on the World Wide Web, then you need to start asserting yourself into a vape lounge type atmosphere, whether it's your vape lounge at your local brick and mortar, or like the vapeshack.org, or any of the various other chat organizations as such. You need to be somewhere where you're around people that know what they're doing, so that they can sensei you, they can be your teacher, so you have an active person who can teach you the responsibilities of what you're doing, and the fact that, yeah, don't be a dumbass. These batteries have a potential for, they carry some power with them. Don't be dumb. But a cordless drill carries with it some responsibility. A power saw carries with it some responsibility. If you don't know what the fuck you're doing, don't use them. And I think that should be taught more, even at the beginner level, is that these are adult power tools. These are serious devices, and that they need to be respected. They are not dangerous. A saw is not dangerous by itself. Somebody who uses a saw every day can be very proficient with it and do extraordinary things. You give the wrong person a saw, and it is the scariest fucking thing you ever seen.
Yep.
Even a handsaw at that level.
I want to back up to what I was saying before Nikki made her point. Is that vaping, building on a deck used to be a gratification thing. Okay, now it's all what I call false gratification. Don't say to me that you have a low ohm build in your deck and you threw somebody's pre-made coils in them, because that's like a rap band sampling off another fucking band. You know what I mean? You're taking the credit for somebody else. Now, if you spun that coil yourself and you did it all yourself and you built that thing, that is gratification. That's worth to go, wow, I mean, that's cool.
Yeah.
Because you're taking somebody else's work that spun that coil. So, of course, it's going to work the same in mine. It's going to work the same in Dave's and Nikki's and Link's. It's all going to work the same because it's the same thing. You didn't do it yourself. That's why when I do pre-coil, I go, I don't. But if I spin the coil myself, I'll say, yeah, I get this in my deck now because I did it. That's just me, though.
I wish there was a lot more of that at vape competitions, because I see that a lot, where people are just, oh, I bought this coil and I took a wrap or two out, and then I'm going to go blow clouds with it. And, it's like, who's your coil builder?
Yeah.
I still have some coils I made out of wire that Dave sent me. But Dave just sent me wire. He just sent me shots. He didn't send me fucking coils, mate. He just sent me shots.
I don't send coils. I just send wire shots.
Yeah.
People are like, hey, can you make me some coils? Nope, but I'll make you a wire shot.
Yeah, and I actually like that, to where you can actually just wrap it yourself. I think the wire shots are really cool.
I wish that you could get better quality wire shots than the Japanese made stuff. I think that is a better tool to teach people how to make coils and give them, like Raven was saying, that personal accomplishment that they did something.
Well, it's also, if I send you a wire shot, now if I send you a coil, all right, like this twisted fuse collector.
Okay.
It's 5-rod, 3 millimeter. That's all you can do with it, except for maybe take a wrap off, but it's always going to be what it is. if I send you a length of it, a shot of it. If you want to do 6 reps, you can do 6 reps. If you want to do 7 reps, you can do 7 reps. You know, if you want to do 3, 3. If you want to do it at a 2.5 or 2 millimeter, it's whatever you want. That's why I like wire shots.
But newbies don't know all of this, and to me, they should learn all of this, and they should at least make a few coils before they start making, go into pre-made coils. Learn it yourself, teach yourself, and then take the easy way out, because you earned the easy way out, because you did it.
Mhm.
I used to have hooks that hold coffee mugs in your cupboard in the side of my desk, right? And I used to take my wire and drape it and fold it in half and that, and then sit there with a pair of vice grips, just spinning it, just twisting it.
I did mine with the
Until I
pen.
got the right when I wanted. I just kept doing it and doing it and doing it, and making my own coil that way. Fuck a drill. It's too noisy.
Yep. I learned how to do that through Zophie Vapes, of how to spin a coil without a drill. And she did it with a coffee cup and a pen.
Yeah,
She did 2 different ways. And I didn't like the coffee cup one so much, but the pen, I was just sitting here, just pair of pliers and just twisting. I'm like, you can do this. It's not going to get it as tight as a drill, but it will.
Actually, you can get it as tight as a drill.
Yeah, but okay,
just gotta-
I've had carpal tunnel, so for me with carpal tunnel,
What you do is when you do it, if you want to get it tight, you put the pin against your leg
and roll it.
on your leg.
Okay, well, I didn't even think about rolling the pen.
It makes it a lot easier on your hands, especially if you have carpal tunnel. 'Cause you're not having to do this. All you're doing is this.
See, when I put it on the hook, and it's just folded in half, so after it's like 4 wires after, 2 different 4 wide, and I spin it. I've spun it so fucking tight that and at that hook it snapped because it was just too fucking tight. Just bink, and I'm like, oh, it's a little too tight. Okay.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
With the larger gauge wire that I use, if I do twisted wires, I have to heat it red hot and walk it down to take the twist out to relieve the wire. Otherwise, it will not coil.
And also I think with the pre-made coils, you're missing out on a lot of fun time. Because now it's people going from the stock coils to the sub 10 coils to $20 for 2 coils.
You guys remember when it was cool to rebuild the Kangas sub-ohm coils?
Oh,
Yes.
Come on, that's what I learned how to build on.
Remember that? It was cool to rebuild them things, and now everybody goes, fuck, it's only $5 to throw them in. That wasn't the point. The point was it was just cool, and you could do that,
Mhm. I come on. As soon as I learned that you could actually rebuild those things, I never bought another one again. I still had the RBA deck, but still, I liked rebuilding those things, taking the haha.
Well,
Screw you, Kanger. I don't have to buy it anymore.
It's like you start off with a basic build,
Mhm.
and then you're like, then you twist it, and then you do the next step and the next step and the next step, like I remember doing a braided coil. That was the coolest thing in the world for me. I was like, this is fucking awesome. And then I failed miserably and made a lot of shit coils of Claptons. And then I finally got that right, and I was all excited, and this is awesome. Then I did a fused Clapton, and I ran through wire on that, and then I finally got it to work, and I was like, yay! And then I tried doing aliens. I was like, yeah, you can go fuck yourself on this one.
Oh,
I used to have that. I used to have that jig, that circle jig with all the holes in it that you drape all your wire down to fucking do the fucking braiding. Remember that? You held it on with fucking weights, held the wire down straight with weights.
I never got that.
Yeah, it was
I didn't get it.
a pain in the balls that thing was, man.
What I would do is I'd sit there and I'd hook another piece of wire on my desk, and I would just sit there and braid it up like that.
I have never done braided wires.
I have not done braided wire, just because I only have I don't have the thinner wire. I don't want to.
I at one point did play around with rolling wire to make flat wire, and that was just because the place I worked at had the proper little tool for making die setting equipment, and I just happened to hop on there with a couple bits of Kanthal and just real quick, and I got her done.
I went through all the steps. I went to, I started with the basic round build, then did the Tin Man because I wanted to see what that was, and then just went up the list. Braided, zipper, flat bastards.
Well, I think what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to mute fast, and while you guys are talking, I'm going to quick spin up a alien.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah. Go fuck yourself.
Oh, and Michaela said she loves your shirt, Raven. So she can't.
Oh, thank you.
What about mine? It's got a pocket for easy storage.
That's used to be for your cigarettes.
Yeah, but mine came from.
I always
the
called those cigarette shirts. All the guys would sit there and have their cigarettes in the pocket, and they'd always fall out.
My mod, if I tried to carry it, it does one of these. It turns my T-shirt into a V-neck.
You know what I did the other day? Of course, that was high. Go figure. Anyways, I'm looking around my desk, and my buddy goes, "What the fuck are you looking for?" I said, "My cigarettes." He goes, "You don't smoke, stupid." I'm like, "Oh, okay." I was actually looking for the cigarettes. I'm like, "Wow, pretty fucking bad." He said, "You don't smoke."
Alzheimer's kicking in. Alzheimer's.
All something. Everything is kicking in at once now.
Old timers.
I haven't smoked in like 5-6 years, and I'm looking for a pack of cigarettes. I gotta smoke some more of that shit.
A little too much self-medication there, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Or not enough. You never know with that stuff.
You guys ever see the live show when I drank the fucking lemonade and got all fucked up? Because it was medicated lemonade. It was like 6 doses, and I drank it all in one show.
No, I did not see that.
Right. And I'm trying to stay fucking focused and shit. I just finally, I went, look, I gotta go. I was too fucked up. Yeah. Oh, shit. All right. So we covered coil, we covered newbies. What else? We covered.
What advice would you give a newbie?
What advice?
I got a coupon. $1.50. I got a coupon for $1.50 off a pack of cigarettes. No. Actually,
Christ.
Actually, Marlboro is still sending me stuff. But somebody fucking is busting my balls. I got a feeling a friend on who I know who it is. But every so often, I get fucking shit from Marlboro. Anyway, my advice for a newbie to be serious is that learn. Start off with what you feel comfortable vaping. Who gives a shit if somebody's blowing clouds or what they're vaping on? If you want to vape on a Kanga product, sub-ohm 10, whatever. You want to do an AIO the rest of your life, knock yourself out. They're fucking great. They're good for people. But learn. If you jump ahead, you're going to get discouraged, and then you're not going to go through with it. If you learn and you start and take the steps, that should be taken, you're gonna enjoy it a lot more. You know, hands on. When we started, there wasn't really like when I started vaping. The biggest fucking thing that hit the market was wickless fucking cauterizers. That was the biggest fucking thing. Holy shit! You know, there was no more of the fucking strands hanging down on the inside. That was the biggest thing. Then other things came around. The iTaste came out, and then the X Cube and all that. Then the
when we each started, it was a little bit different because, you know, nowadays there's so much shit to choose from.
Yeah.
You know, so much quality stuff to choose from. Like, even with me, I'm probably the newest, you know, the youngest vapor, the newest vapor here. Back when I started, the only quality products you could get readily was the Nautilus and the Subtank Mini. You know, one of the Subtanks.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as I loved my first vape shop, they did a horrible disservice to me.
Antique.
Because they didn't go, you know, they went with, oh, you need the Subtank because it's the best thing out there. No, there's no such thing as best thing out there.
It was the hottest thing that was on the market at the time.
You know,
Yeah, it's good for you.
And it kind of worked, but it didn't work. But then I got the Nautilus, and the Nautilus worked. Its drip tip was the same diameter as a cigarette butt. It had the same draw as a cigarette butt, as a cigarette. It worked. My suggestion is ignore the hot thing out there and get you an affordable mouth-to-lung tank, a cheap, affordable sub-tank, and a cheap, affordable dripper, and find out which one works for you the best.
What's that? Does the Kanga have that 24? Kanga, is the Kanga 24? It's like the AIO, but larger.
The 22?
22, thank you. I don't know why I said 24, but anyway. Something like that, that's good. See, quitting smoking is a two-part addiction. The one addiction is a chemical addiction. That's all that shit, the nicotine and stuff like that. That's what keeps you addicted, like the caffeine and coffee. The other part is a physical addiction of always having something in your hands.
Yeah.
You know, so always having that cigarette twirling around your hand and fucking, you know, once you get by that addiction, then you can move on to like the other mods and stuff. But I think that people should stick with something smaller that's more concealable. They can do mouth to lung first, you know, and get the nicotine levels starting to cut down before they start going on to these big fucking other RDA, RDA sub-ohm tanks and fucking mods. You know, why spend $300 if you're not gonna know if you're gonna stick with it?
Right. Get something like the Boulder or something like that. That's, you know, that way you actually get used to the vapor and stuff like that. Then, you know, if you don't like it, you're out what, less than $20?
Yep.
You know.
Right. And you know, and as for all the lingo and all the fucking definitions and everything that people say, and don't worry about that shit. If you're new, don't worry about that shit. As you grow, you will get it, and that's a part of the learning curve. Part of learning all the different bills, all the different lingo for it, whatever you want to call it, and just grow slowly, and then you'll quit smoking, and then you'll enjoy vaping more. I know people that don't do what I do. All of us here that are on this panel now, we're all hobbyists, and that's the thing. We've graduated from non-smoking to vaping thing. We don't care about that. We did that. It wasn't good for us. Now we're hobbyists. Now we want to own the next thing for us, the next big deck. We want to build the next grade coil because we're hobbyists. You don't have to be. And I know people that's vape for fucking years and they have like AIOs and stuff like that. And that's it. They're happy. They don't give a fuck about anything else. You know, as long as you're not smoking, that's all that counts.
I know a guy that's been he's been vaping for 6 years, and the only thing he vapes on is the blues. And
That's what works.
he don't smoke, but he vapes on blues and doesn't care about anything other than that. He doesn't want a tank, he doesn't want a mod, he just wants his blue.
Let's tell. I'm not telling this to you guys because you're the choir. I'm telling this to other people.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe this after. Let's look at it like this. Just let me sum things up before somebody comments on this. Okay. Let's look at the difference between vaping and cigarettes. Okay. All right. Cigarettes have over 40,000 chemicals. I'm being nice right now. 40,000 chemicals. All right. That cause cancer and other illnesses, emphysema, or all other illnesses, right? All right. And it has nicotine. The nicotine doesn't cause cancer. Nicotine is the addictive agent that is like caffeine inside coffee. That's what gets you fucking addicted to it. It's not the other fucking chemicals. The other chemicals is what makes you sick. Okay. Now let's go to vaping. All right. You put 2 to 3 chemicals together, let's just say that, okay? Which you can control your nicotine level, can't do that with cigarettes, and you can control what you're tasting. Instead of tasting burnt fucking leaves or that crappy shit and having your clothes smelling or your house and car stinking, you can have it smell like you're a fucking air freshener. You're a walking air freshener, all right? And your house smells good and everything else, and your walls don't stain yellow, and you know, and it's fucking a whole bunch of benefits. So to me, it's a no-brainer. It's the vaping because I'm almost down now to zero nick. I'm not saying once I get to zero nick, I'm going to stop vaping because I like to vape and that's just thing. But as far as I'm concerned right now, I don't even have to vape anymore. I can just walk away. That thing, cigarettes. Where do you go? Cigars? You go up. You go to cigars. You know that there's 200 milligrams of nicotine in a cigar,
Mm-hmm.
and there's 48 in a cigarette.
Wow.
And that's how many. See, I got 3 in mine right now, and probably everybody here has got 3.
3.
0.
Oh. Well,
If anybody wants,
Michaela had a question on what's your opinion on clones?
I should die. I mean, no, seriously.
I'd like to handle this one because I'd like to go first because
Because she
am a,
sees a lot of people attacking other people with the clones. That's what she's.
am a person of limited income, and for me, it is the trade-off between trying a product and not trying a product, and you can afford what you can afford, and that is a finite amount of resource. And so for me personally, I don't condone clones, but if you buy a clone, own that it's a clone. If it's not an authentic, tell people it's not an authentic. You know, some people might mod bash and all that kind of stuff, but the reality of is you get to vape that product and try it out. I firmly believe if you buy a clone and you find out that it's worth the money, go buy the authentic because you know it's 10 times better than what you got.
Well, sometimes I've seen clones that are sometimes a little bit better than the authentic.
I have never experienced that personally. I have always found that the machining quality and that the fit and finish and
It's because they use different materials, and maybe that material is just not.
Okay, the way I see it is if all you can afford is a clone, what's the problem with it? All right. Now, there's some of them. Some things I don't think you should buy a clone for. If the fucking atomizer is $20, and you spend $18 on a clone, shame on you.
Shame on you.
Shame on you.
Yeah.
All right. But if it's a $175 atomizer,
Mhm.
and you buy a clone for $21, that clone is going to give you relatively the same experience as that $175 atomizer. And there are clones that are not as good as the authentic. There are clones that are exactly the same. There are a lot of clones that are exactly the same. And there are some clones that are better
Mhm.
than the authentic. What was it? There was a mech mod. The Hades mod. The clone was better than the authentic.
You know, good.
The Rig V2. The Rig V2, authentic versus clone. I've had them both. They hit exactly the same. Their paint jobs are exactly the same. It's a better paint job on the Rig, but it peels off just as easily as the clone. So if you don't have $300 to buy that setup, there's no problem doing. But again, own the fact that you've got a clone.
Mhm.
See, I don't buy clones, and it's not because I don't go. I don't say that. Well, I'm not buying a clone. I get a lot of shit given to me, so nobody gives me a clone, obviously. But when I do buy something, I don't, because if I can't afford it, if it's like $60, I'm like, that's too much. Like $100. I won't spend $100 on an RDA. Ain't fucking happening, because there's an RDA out there that's probably just as good. If I look, that's an authentic. That's a lot cheaper. Now, as for clones being just as good as the authentics or better, a lot of clones are made in the same exact factory as the authentics. It's just that they can't be sold because they're either overruns, or there's a little nick somewhere, or there's something wrong with it. But they're the same exact shit. It's the same exact fucking thing, but they can't sell it as an authentic because there's a blemish or something. So they sell it as a style.
Or
You know,
some
have
of
a
these,
style. You know,
some of these cloning factories, they get the authentic, but then they hear all the cons of the authentic,
Mhm. And they fix it.
and they go,
Really?
and they're well, fuck, why don't we just fix it and we'll do style, and people buy this over the authentic because it's fixed.
The clone thing is a four-part is a four-part argument. Well, one argument is, well, I want this, but I can't afford this, so I'm going to get the clone. So you got to. So if you look at it that person's point of view, fine, that's great, terrific. That's a good argument. The other argument is that, well, you're taking cash out of my pocket by buying a clone, because I'm banking on the authentic, and I don't get a dime from the clones just when people buy the authentics. And if everybody's just going to buy a clone of my shit, then I ain't making anything.
Well,
So it's the people that make it, and then there's the people who are just like, well, I buy it because it's better than a clone, and so there's so many parts to this argument.
mhm.
You know what I mean? It's like, and everybody's right. Everybody's right. The guy who was cloned, the clones are taking cash out of his pocket. Well, that's right. You know what I mean? That is doing that. That is hurting this person somewhat. But again, this guy can't afford it. So you put out a product that's so good that this guy here, who's making minimum wage, right, wants to buy your fucking $200 RDA and can't fucking afford it, but it's so fucking great, he's gonna go and buy a clone.
Mhm.
He wants what you make.
The statement is, it doesn't matter what you're vaping on as long as you're vaping.
That's right.
It's just plain and simple.
You know,
Shouldn't matter.
and there's also let's not forget about, you know, things like the velocities and the K funds. Some people might have to get the clone because they can't get the authentic, not because they don't have the money. It's just you can't buy them.
Right.
You know, the velocity ever since it came out, you couldn't buy the fuckers. They released 100 of them and they'd be sold in a minute.
Mhm.
So you had to get the clone. You know, or you paid $400 for one. The K funds have always been like that.
Well, the boxer is the authentic is very expensive. I mean, and it's in my pocket, you know, I don't think I would ever spend $300 on a mod. I mean, that's just not my budget. I still, you know, have kids at home and stuff like that. Will I want to buy a clone boxer? Me personally, that's not my vaping style. You know what I'm saying? I mean, a lot of people are pushing that Squonker boxer. I don't like the look of it. That's just my preference.
That's a little different though.
Well, she asked about the boxer.
Yeah,
Because she said Billy was getting bashed using the boxer. Okay, is he getting bashed because it's an authentic? Or is he getting bashed because it's a clone?
Oh.
Well, he says he was in a pool using it and he really got bashed. Well, that's because it's a simple fact that he was near a pool. You know what? I mean, shoot, you could sit there and said, "Hey, I'm testing out that new water device."
Using a clone. He was using a clone. That's a little different. People still shouldn't be bashing on it. But when people see a reviewer all of a sudden using a clone, they get upset because they view that the reviewer should not be using a clone because, quote unquote, they don't have to buy anything.
Bullshit.
Which I can tell you right now, it wasn't until this year, maybe the end of last year, that Billy started getting stuff sent to him.
Yeah, Billy, he got a lot of stuff, but it's usually what he got mods. He also got tanks, RDAs, things like that. He's a great reviewer. But you also got to realize he bought hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Just like me. I buy 90% of my stuff that I review, I bought. I mean, the juices and stuff I get sent to me and stuff, hey, you want to do, okay, I'll review it. But 90% of my hardware, because I'm picky, I bought.
Yeah.
And it's because I like challenging decks. I don't want to sit there and review a velocity deck 10 times. You know what I'm saying? Velocity. It's a velocity. It's a velocity. It's different airflow. It's a velocity. That's like going and reviewing Vaporgate products, okay? Hello, he brought out how many versions of the exact same deck, just a different airflow. I mean, how many times could you sit there and actually review that product? It's just a different cap.
Yeah, but at the same time, people do get accustomed to a certain deck, and they only want to use that certain deck. So
right.
If they're making atomizers, they're going to be using that one.
But you would think that because he's more higher end and stuff like that, that you would have seen a totally, like, I could sit there and change the caps out of the first 3 devices. They all fit each other, which was kind of cool, but there was no difference of the deck. It's like he sit there and had a whole bunch of those decks and said, hey, let's change out the airflow a little bit and make it a little different style. But then it's still high end, $60 pop just to get a different cap.
that goes on. He's catering to his fan base. He's catering to the people that made him.
I mean, he makes good quality stuff. That's why when I met him personally, I'm like, are you ever going to bring out something that doesn't have just a velocity deck? You know, and he finally brought out the Omni, which then again, it's $120 RDA, but it has 2 decks and a whole bunch of caps. You know, it's interesting, but I'm waiting for that price point to go down.
Technically, it's a 60. If you're buying two $60.
Yeah, you're buying two $60, which I'm known to buying $60 RDAs, but
also with VaporGate, you get a lot of stuff for $60.
You do.
It's not like you're buying one airflow sleeve.
Like this is beautiful. I like it. You know.
Yeah.
But he did cater to the beginner vapor when he made that. So I'm proud that he actually decided to do something different out of the box.
You know, it's, you know, you're getting a lot of extras with VaporGate. You know, so $60 for him for one of his things, not a bad deal. It's like $60 for the Mason. How much shit did that come with?
This? No, it
No,
came
the
with
Mason.
the Mason?
Yeah.
I think like 5. Masons didn't really come with a whole lot. It wasn't like the first one. It wasn't like
with 2 build decks.
The Mason?
Yeah. Yeah.
No. Which Mason? You know how many Masons there are?
V2. The one I bought, the one I traded you.
Oh, it came with 2 top caps.
It came with 2 decks. It came with, well, not 2 decks, but it came with a 2-hole center post to make it a 4-post, or a single post.
Okay, that's right.
So you
you change out. Yeah, you could change out the center post to make
and
it
then it came with
3 cups.
3 sleeves, 2 airflow controls.
Yeah, and that's what makes it universal. I like when he did that, but he's not doing that with everything he brings out now. It's just back to velocity, style, you know. But like this one is bottom airflow that goes into the center and to your coil and up, and you could lay it down. You could sit there. It's a no leak RDA. It's really cool. But the only flaw in this is you have to unscrew it, or you have to drip in the center and tip your RDA and let it draw down the side. You can't drip automatically in the center because the airflow is in the middle and it can go down the holes and then out the thing, but it will not leak at all. I've had it actually on its side, juiced up, will not leak unless you actually tip it upside down. So kudos to VaporGate on that one.
Yeah, so I mean, and again, price point is also subjective. You know,
Always.
Huh?
Always.
Yeah. What might be expensive for you might not be expensive for me. What might be expensive for me might be not be expensive to somebody else.
But when I do want, but this is the thing, if I save up enough, or if I really truly want it, I just sit there and say, you know what, is it worth it? You know, let's try it. You know, I do like my authentics, but you know, I also like, you know, once in a while trying new things that, okay, well, it's a style, but I don't know where I can get the authentic. Either the authentic was never truly released, but the style was. So technically speaking, is that considered still a clone if the authentic was never fully released?
Well, that's what I said. That's what I said before. You know, availability plays a part in it. Mm-hmm. If you can't buy the fucker, but you can buy the clone,
then yeah, that's the thing.
Buy the clone, duh. Just don't try to pass it off as authentic, because you're gonna get embarrassed if when somebody catches it.
There's no way to be embarrassed if you walk in the door and say, "Oh, it's a clone." You know what I mean? You've already succumbed to the fact that you're a cheap bastard, and I don't think you're going to get bashed for it as hardly as if you said, well, "Look at my authentic blah 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 blah," and somebody was like, "Look at them post screws. That's a clone." You know what I mean?
You know what? How many of you have ever asked anybody if, like, as soon as they sit there and say, well, what are you vaping on? You go, oh, is that an authentic? I've never, ever asked anybody that. You know, I'm like, well, what are you vaping on? Or oh, what is that? You know, I don't expect them to sit there and tell me, hey, it's a clone or a style. And I never would bash them for it. Just because I'm like, well,
I've
that's
found
cool.
that only certain people, when they, like it takes a certain person to go, hey, I am vaping today on my authentic goon. You know what I mean? You get that elitism out of certain people, and you never hear that from people that don't care.
The normal vapor, the normal person that vapes, the only time they ever truly gave a fuck if you had an authentic or not was when it came to the velocity. And it wasn't because people wanted to bash you if you said you had a clone. It's say they wanted to know if you were one of the lucky ones to have an authentic. Because what, 90% of us have never held an authentic velocity.
I think bigger picture these days, a lot of the price points have come down to an affordable means, whereas before, you know, there was $135 for an RDA. It was crazy. I mean, and now, you know, higher end products are coming out for $60, and the entry level, you know, Peerless, Icon, Govad, there's the Aura, the Drop, Geek Vape products. Most of that stuff drops for what, 35 bucks out the gate, some less.
And Michaela, the only people that need to be bashed about clones are the people who are trying to sell clones as authentic.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Because what if that person bought they thought was an authentic, but got a clone, and then you bash that person for not knowing the difference between the two?
And then just to quote Raven, because I just have to take up the opportunity, to all the people out there doing that, go fuck yourself.
Watch about using his words. You might get somebody coming after you and
No copyright strike. I'm sorry, Raven. It won't happen again.
I tried it one time and ended up getting blast in my face. So yeah, be careful of using those words, because I just think that Raven says it more beautifully. That you owe him like $100 right now just for doing that.
Not anybody. Not everybody can tell someone to go fuck themselves, and the other person go right here.
And actually make it sound authentic. You just cloned the Raven.
That was a very poor clone of the Raven.
Yes.
Right here on Dave Vape's channel.
So you did quote the Raven, nevermore.
This Raven's clone.
Just to let everybody know who's watching in chat or who catches this on the replay, me and Dave have been doing a thing every Sunday at about 2, starting at 2, and we're gonna start jumping back and forth between his channel and my channel, and we're gonna ride this one out, and we're gonna come back on my channel next week, but we're going to start jumping back and forth, and hopefully everybody can follow along, because hopefully we can figure out a direction for this, because it's not every day you find 2 bald-headed vapors.
Shiny.
Me and Nikki's not bald. What are you talking about?
Not yet.
You're our guest, so you know, it's
Not yet. Not if they have the way with that challenge and everything coming up or anything.
Yep, and so it'll be Nikki B, once you have a bald head, you can go ahead and join. Raven, if you'd like to get funky with a set of shears, we'd be more than happy to have you. Otherwise, you'll have to join us as our guest.
Yep.
And next week it will be on Link's channel, the Link at YouTube.
Is it
On
the or
YouTube.
the? I always thought it was the.
The.
I know. I just never thought it through.
Is it the missing link or is it just the link?
It's just the link.
The link.
the link.
He's always missing.
Yeah, we always miss it. All right.
I go rogue from time to time.
So,
Oh.
so we've been running at it for a while. So I guess it's as good as in time any to say our farewells and
Well,
thank y'all for coming on. It's been fun. Thank y'all, everybody, for showing up and talking to us in chat.
Yep.
Absolutely. It was good to have everybody.
Any parting words of wisdom, Raven?
go fuck yourself.
Good enough. Nikki?
Oh, I can't go after that man. He
Yeah,
says
I
it all. He
I
says
know.
it all.
Live shows are done. Can't beat it. Everybody just hang up y'all's heads.
You should have let me go last.
Anything you want to
That's
say?
why
Nikki?
that's why I let Natty usually go last on my shows, because he does it so wonderful. How can you sit there and go after that? It's kind of like
Go
I feel
check
like
out my
talking.
go check out my Instagram channel. It's vaping_Raven. I got a lot of cool shit up there.
And everybody knows where to find me, Vaping with Nikki B. So
Link?
I am The Link. You can find me right here on YouTube under The Link. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram under Link Miner. Big shout out to this beautiful lady. I would also like to give a shout out to the U.S. carrier of Ango Rabbit, Cafe Inner Vapes.
yeah.
Let's see, I had more, but yeah. I'd like to thank DNA for sending me my very own DNA 300 color. I'll be waiting for that in my mailbox, and I'm going to hold my breath. So please continue while I pass out.
And I'm Dave Vapes. Yeah, Dave Vapes everywhere. That's all you got to do is look for Dave Vapes. I'm there somewhere. And I'll see y'all next time and see y'all on Cafe Innovate. Have a good one, guys.